Hey everybody, movie reviewer next door here, and I'm back with another video. This time I'm doing a bit of a big haul of movies that I've gotten from many different places. It's been quite a bit since I've done one of these. I'm just gonna start off because there's a lot of stuff here. These are all from thrift shops. I got these all in one day. Let's see. Life of David Gale, Alan Parker, who directed uh Pink Floyd's The Wall. Or Pink Floyd The Wall. I'm curious about this movie. I've heard a lot of shit about it. Uh, I mean, good and bad, but I'm curious about it. The Fifth Commandment with Rick Yoon, directed by Jesse V. Johnson, who I really love as a director. Accident Man and Avengement, I think, are action classics of the 2010s. Um, but you've also got Boo Boo Stewart, Keith David, Bokeem Woodbine, actors I like. Bait with Jamie Foxx, directed by Anton Fuqua, a director I really like, who did The Replacement Killers, Equalizer, which I'm kind of iffy on, um, Olympus Has Fallen, very talented director. Um, I've heard that this is a fun movie, so can't wait to give it a watch. Even though I technically own this with the Bond collection, I did want the limited edition DVD. Bond Girls Are Forever. It's a documentary about Bond girls. It also has um like photo galleries, timelines, but yeah, very curious to look at that. Not a movie, but uh at one of the thrift shops I found Nine Inch Nails with Teeth, which is a pretty good album. Nice to find. The Full Monty. I've heard this is a very funny comedy. Robert Carlyle, Tom Wilkinson. Um, very much looking forward to watching it. The unrated cut as well. Because I like Paul Walker as an actor, The Lazarus Project. Very curious about this. The plot that it's going for seems pretty interesting. I'm trying to give uh David Cronenberg more of a chance. Uh, so Maps to the Stars. Always been curious to watch this. I really like Julianne Moore and Mia Wasikowska. Uh, heard from a friend this is an underrated movie. The Mothman Prophecies, Richard Gere, Laura Linney, also Deborah Messing, Will Patton. Yeah. I've heard horrible things about this, but because I love Diane Kruger, I 100% want to see this. Special Forces, and it was super cheap. Um, it has like that has like a 3% on Rotten Tomatoes, by the way. There's this film, Gotti with John Travolta, went through so much production hell just to get made, which is insane. Um, I usually like John Travolta as an actor, so am still curious. Cinema Paradiso, always heard that this is like a classic. I have it on DVD, but I saw it on Blu-ray and I was like, okay, that's cool. I Am Wrath with John Travolta. Thinking about giving this another watch, seeing if I still feel the same about it. Directed by Chuck Russell, who did Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, which is one of my favorites. So definitely want to give it another chance. And Avatar, the I've never seen this film. I'm curious to watch it. It is almost 3 hours long though. That's like the beginning of Hollywood having every movie be that long. These next ones are from a couple trips to Dollar Tree. Um, so uh, Little Boy. It's drama film uh, directed by Alejandro Monteverde, um, who did Sound of Freedom. So now I own all of his movies except for Cabrini. But you've got a hell of a cast here. You have Emily Watson, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, very good actor, Michael Rappaport, David Henry, Tom Wilkinson, Ben Chaplin, uh, and Eduardo Verastegui. Definitely looking forward to it. Um, Blood on Her Name looked interesting from how it's described on here. So since these were all a dollar, I was $1.25 or whatever. I was like, fuck it. A Private War. I've had this on my watch list for a while. I love Rosamund Pike. Also got Jamie Dornan, Tom Hollander, and Stanley Tucci. Really good cast. Another one I have on my watch list for Queen and Country. Denzel Washington, uh, Bruce Payne. Yeah, been curious to check it out. Yet another one on my watch list. Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag. I'm curious how well Joe Pesci does comedy because I'm not huge on him as a serious actor. I remember liking him in the Lethal Weapon movies, but yeah. Very curious how this one handles the subject matter, but Don John, Joseph Gordon-Levitt's directorial debut, um, about porn addiction. Uh, yeah, very curious. Another Woman. It's a Woody Allen film. I've never seen any Woody Allen films. Curious to see how this will be. At least it's short. I've never heard of this film, but there's like a lot of well-known people in here. Penance with Tony Todd, Graham McTavish from Outlander, Michael Rooker, actor I love, Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer, I think is one of it's an insanely effective horror film. James Duvall, um, yeah, I don't know if any of these guys star in it or if they're just in it, but hopefully they're in it quite a bit. There's, yeah, I mostly got this because I saw the cast. I like the cast, but I'm a little scared because of the subject matter it's going for. Um, Son of the South, starring Lucas Till. I love Lucas Till. I think he's a really good actor. He was in All Superheroes Must Die, Jason Trost film. Um, Also the MacGyver TV show, which or the MacGyver remake series, which I don't hate. The parts of it I've seen. I don't think he's a bad MacGyver. He's definitely a lot different, but I like it's pretty fast paced and found it to be pretty entertaining from what I've seen. But Lucas Till, Lucy Hale, Jake Abel, Julia Ormond, Brian Dennehy, Cedric the Entertainer. My issues, I'm scared because it's uh Scott bleh, excuse me, produced, executive produced by Spike Lee, um, partially, but and it's about the South and sorry, I'm messing up a lot of my words. It's about the South and the KKK specifically, so very curious. Now on to other thrift shop stuff and Big Lots because I got movies from Big Lots as well. These are more thrift shop stuff. Um, Open Water. I already owned it, but I wanted the widescreen for when I watch it. Um, An Innocent Man with Tom Selleck. I've heard that this is a pretty underrated movie. So wanted to see it. Rick. Always heard that this is a pretty awesome movie, directed by Ryan Johnson. Pretty up and coming cast: Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Matt O'Leary, uh, Noah Segan, Megan Good, Emily DeRavin, Lucas Haas, Richard Roundtree. 100% have to watch this. Fort Bliss. I love Michelle Monaghan, so I wanted to see how she'd tackle a role like this. Um, Also got Ron Livingston, Gibenga Ekanagbe, Manuel Shirikwi, Pablo Schreiber. Um, yeah, got a pretty good cast here. Very curious how she plays a army medic. And the stuff from Big Lots. A lot of these, I was like, okay, they're super cheap, and I've been curious about them. So, Patriot, A Nation at War. Um, have this on my watch list. Just haven't gotten to it yet. Um, Embattled. I've heard Stephen Dorff gives a pretty good performance in this. I've always loved him. You've also got, well, a lot of other people, but from the writer of American History X was David McKenna. I was very curious about that. So yeah, Pay Dirt with Luke Goss and Val Kilmer. Um, I think it's a heist film, I think, but directed by Christian Sesma, who I have warmed up to because I did rate one of his films like a 3 out of 10 at one point. Uh, every last one of them, I think. I hated that movie, but I think he's gotten a lot better as the years have gone by. Um, this one, especially given uh the death of O.J. Simpson, I'm very curious to check this one out. The murder of Nicole Brown Simpson. That poses the question of, oh, what if O.J. Simpson didn't kill his wife, but instead a random other killer did, which insane that they thought that that was a good idea to make. Harsh Times. I think this was David Ayer's directorial debut, and apparently Christian Bale's really fucking good in this. Um, I've really grown on David Ayer over the years, especially after seeing like Sabotage and other stuff like that of his. I still haven't seen his Suicide Squad, but yeah, definitely gonna watch his directorial debut at some point. This is one I had on the watch list. Very curious. True History of the Kelly Gang. Pretty good actors in there. George McKay, Essie Davis, Nicholas Hoult, Thomason McKenzie, Charlie Hunnam, Russell Crowe. Definitely looking forward to that. And an animated film or stop motion film that I never got to see, and I'm really looking forward to watching. Uh, Kubo and the Two Strings. Uh, Pretty nice cast. From what I've seen in like trailers, gorgeous animation style. So definitely hoping that it stands up. Uh, got two bags left. Um, this is Dollar General. Uh, Philly Kid. This is an after dark action film that they did like some action films. I like the cast that's here. Wes Chatham I've seen be good in movies. Devon Sawa, Sarah Butler, Chris Browning, uh, Michael Jai White, Neil McDonough. Um, of the other After Dark action films I've seen, I'd say like the best one so far was El Gringo. but still not amazing with Scott Adkins. I would not say that's one of his better films. Um, but the one with Jim Caviezel was really, really bad. Jim Caviezel was the best part about it. Transit, yeah, Transit was not a good movie. Um, there's this six movie pack. I was curious because I saw uh some interesting names. Jaime Balaguero's movie The Nameless, the guy who did the Darkness, which I thought was fucking hilarious, even though it's supposed to be a horror movie. I was curious about that since that's on here. Um, you've got a movie starring someone playing twins, uh, directed by the actress, The Collective, and The Night Listener with Robin Williams, Toni Collette, Bobby Cannavale, Joe Morton, Rory Culkin, and Sandra Oh. So definitely curious about that. I Am Thor. This is a documentary about John Michael Thor, the uh, singer, bodybuilder, um, known for being in So Bad It's Good movies like Rock and Roll Nightmare and Zombie Nightmare. I've always wanted to see this documentary. It was nice to see it pretty cheap because I want to keep getting all the John Wayne movies. I've got a triple threat of uh some of his earliest westerns that he made for Warner Brothers. Um, Apparently these three are making their DVD debut on this Telegraph Trail somewhere in Sonora and The Man from Monterey. So definitely nice. Beasts of the Southern Wild. Always heard good things about this film, so definitely want to see it. Gods and Generals. This is the sequel to Gettysburg. I will uh, definitely have to watch this at some point, but here's the thing, it is really long. It's 219 minutes, but I will get to it at some point. And the last bag, these are some movies I got at Walmart. Um, Black Demon, directed by Adrian Grunberg. I know that name. I got this movie because I recognized the director. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, this is the director of Rambo Last Blood and Get the Gringo, which Get the Gringo I thought was a really, really good comeback film for Mel Brooks, Mel Gibson, along with Edge of Darkness, which I absolutely love that film. So I've heard bad things about this, but I'm still curious. And I also really like Josh Lucas as an actor. Um, Smile, still never seen this. Um, Still very curious about it since they're gonna make a sequel soon. Um, Cop Shop, directed by Joe Carnahan, who I have not had a lot of luck with. I've seen of Joe Carnahan's films, I've seen Boss Level, which I did really like. I wasn't huge on the ending. Um, but Smoking Aces, I'd have to watch that again, watch both of them. But Gerard Butler, Frank Grillo, both really great action actors, actors in general. So definitely gonna check it out. Just a movie I had on my watch list, saw it cheap. Assassin's Club. I'm especially in this for Noomi Rapace, but you've got a pretty good cast here. Sam Neill included, Henry Golding. Directed by Camille Delmar, who was the editor, I think, for the Taken sequels, Transporter 3, pretty much everything that Olivier Megaton directed, I think, but he's a much better director than editor. Um, The Northman from uh, Robert Eggers, the director of The Witch. Very curious to watch this movie. Pretty cool cast as well. Confidential Informant. Mel Gibson movie that's on my watch list. Um, Also got Dominic Purcell, Kate Bosworth, who I actually quite like. Nick Stahl. Uh, yeah. Um, just kind of a random direct-to-video movie I've been curious about. And Old Henry, which again I've also been curious about and would like to see it. But yeah, that's my big haul or update on Blu-rays and DVDs. Um, if you see anything that you recognize or want to tell me something about, let me know in the comments down below. If you have any recommendations for reviews in the future, let me know in the comments as well. And movie reviewer next door